Welcome to another episode of the Rocky Top Rundown. I'm your host, Hayden Flatt, alongside Matthew King. Matthew, how are you doing today?
Hayden, I'm fantastic, especially after a weekend victory from the Vols this Saturday.
Yeah, it was a big win indeed. Tennessee really took care of business against Tennessee Tech. And it was a busy weekend in all for Tennessee sports, and we'll kick it off with the highlights from the football game.
Yeah, Hayden, definitely a fun game for the Vols here. The defense was all over the place, as you see here. Tyler Barron and Roman Harrison all over that in the sack. Tennessee Tech has to punt early, and it's a short kick. Velus Jones decides, you know what, I'm going to take this. He goes around the sideline, and right here, those guys just fall on their backs. That's pretty embarrassing if you ask me. They're down to the 30. Hendon Hooker here decides to connect all the way down to the end zone. Javonte Patton, is he in? They say he's in. Touchdown Tennessee, the Mississippi State transfer's first touchdown as of all. Here you see we got Tennessee Tech trying a little trickeration. The double pass, it's not there. Tennessee's defense all over that. Theo Jackson forces him out of bounds. Oh, he's had a great season so far. Here we go. Now, Tennessee Tech, they're going to try this little rollout play, and that ball was a little overthrown. Jalen McCullough is going to come up with the interception down just under the 40-yard line. Tennessee now in offensive field position that's pretty good. Hooker decides that he's going to take it himself, and that's looking like a touchdown. Well, they ruled it not a touchdown, so he hands it off to Jalen Wright, and Jalen Wright is in now 14-0. Now we got Hendon Hooker finding Velus Jones, and man, this guy was all over the field on Saturday. Breaks 2 tackles. I wouldn't want to line up against that man. Touchdown, now 21-0. Here we go. Now in the goal line, Hendon Hooker finds Jacob Warren, and the Vols are already up 28-0, into the second half. Now Tennessee Tech trying a little thing different. And Lante Taylor has other plans. He's going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown. Now Hooker's going to find Jimmy Calloway on a screen, and he's going to pick up some nice yardage. That worked last week against Pitt, by the way. And now, once again, it's intercepted. This time it's Solon Page, and he says, you know what? I'm going to take one to the house, too. I'm going to match you, Alante. Now the Vols are up huge. I believe now it's about 42-0. Tennessee Tech absolutely can't do anything on offense. Quarterback trying to make something out of it can't work. Here we have a handoff to Jalen Wright. He had a pretty nice day himself. And now in the goal line, Hooker hands it off to Tyon Evans, and he leaps across the entire defense. That's going to make it 49-0. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and it's interception number 4, that time by Tamarian McDonald. Now Harrison Bailey's in the game, and he's going to hand it off to Marcus Pierce Jr., and he's going to find some nice yardage. Bailey had himself a solid day. Here he's avoiding the sack, avoiding the pressure, and he's going to scramble? That's rare from him, you see. But he picks up the first down, and here in the goal line, they're going to hand it off. He picks up some more yards, Pierce, and now they're going to hand it off. Nope, Harrison's going to take it himself. It's a touchdown, and that's going to do it for the Vols. So here you go. There's some more sacks on the day. Tennessee's offense was all over the place, but this defense was swarming. And that's going to lead the Vols to a 56-0 victory over Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, certainly was an impressive game for Tennessee, offensively and defensively. But it wasn't an SEC opponent, and as the Vols travel to the Swamp this weekend to face Florida, this does raise a few concerns, and Sam Burton has more on that.
Week 3 of Tennessee Volunteers football is over, and it ended with a massive 56-0 win over opponent Tennessee Tech. The win allowed the Vols to show some promise on the year that some fans like, but it also showed some concern to some fans who are worried about the QB situation that has plagued Tennessee for the last 5 years.
Interesting. I did not like the quarterback switches. I'm not sure who our quarterback is going to be, but I did like our run game and our line.
With plays like this 23-yard run from Hendon Hooker and this 17-yard run from running back Jalen Wright, it's easy to see why fans like Jonathan were excited. The running game has also been a struggle for Tennessee for the last few seasons or so, so this is a welcome sight for all Vols fans. With the Vols being 2-1 on the season, this leaves many fans wondering if they might reach a bowl game this year, which they last did in the 2019 season against Indiana University, winning 23-22 in the Gator Bowl. Tennessee has reached 4 bowl games in the last 10 years, but they have also won all 4 of them. So this leaves fans wondering if this might be another year for another win.
Hopefully we can make a bowl game. That's far out, but I think we might can do it.
Both the offense and the defense look solid for the Vols, but some mistakes leave fans to wonder how they'll fare against SEC opponents, starting September 25th against Florida University. The Vols racked up 417 total yards of offense while holding Tennessee Tech to only 179. The Tennessee defense managed to record 4 interceptions, including a pick 6, and 4 sacks on the day. This also includes 8 tackles for losses and 62 total tackles. Tennessee defense was all over Tennessee Tech's offense. With Rocky Top Rundown, Samuel Burton.
Thank you, Sam. Over the weekend, the Lady Vols traveled to Indiana to play in the Stacey Clark Classic against Purdue Fort Wayne, Jacksonville State, and Purdue. Tough opponent for the Lady Vols here in Purdue. Starting off set 1, Purdue came out with a strong lead 4-1, but the Lady Vols would have an answer as Natalie Hayward sets up for a spike. Now Morgan Fingal gets a kill, making it 4-2 Purdue. Now Purdue leading 24-19 in the first set, coming up on match point. Purdue volleys over Hayward and wins the first set. In the second set, Hayward sets up Fingal to get the kill and completes that, as Purdue now leads 17-13. In the second set, Purdue leading in another match point, but the Lady Vols battle back and earn another point there, but Purdue would then end the set on a big spike. In the third set, the Lady Vols get off to a better start with an early point, but Purdue would come back and they now lead 11-10 as Purdue now leading 14-13. Lady Vols kept this close in all 3 sets, but just could not find a way to win one. As Purdue now is tied with the Lady Vols 14-all. Now the match still tied 19-19, but Purdue's going to get a kill there to give them a lead. And match point for Purdue, and they are going to win all 3 sets to finish off the sweep of the Lady Vols. A tough Purdue opponent, and the Lady Vols kept it close the entire match, but just really couldn't get one across. And it was a tough loss for them, but I think they really figured out kind of where they are as a team.
Yeah, it's really important at this point in the season to figure that out.
Yeah, and you can check out the Lady Vols in Thompson Bowling Arena as they take on the Arkansas Razorbacks in SEC play this Saturday at noon. Now switching gears to women's soccer. The number 13 ranked Tennessee Lady Vols soccer team suffered its first loss of the season on Friday, falling to Arkansas on the road in the SEC opener 3-1. Freshman Claire Rain was the only goal scorer for Tennessee, scoring her first collegiate goal. Arkansas, who were preseason favorites, had an early goal from Jessica DeFilippo. Parker Goins put another goal up on the board at the 22-minute mark, and Anna Podojil scored a minute into the second half to give the Razorbacks a go-ahead win over Tennessee. Your women's soccer team returns home this Thursday to play the number 12th ranked Auburn Tigers at 7 o'clock.
And last but not least, men's tennis has been competing this last week. They finished play at the M15 Champaign Futures this week in Champaign, Illinois. The doubles play of Hudd and Walton lead the week for the Vols, advancing to the semifinal round in the doubles main draw. Round 1 saw the Tennessee pair winning 6-0 and 6-1 in set 1. The second round, Hudd and Walton went to 3 sets, losing only 1 game. The Vols' run ended in semifinal round as the duo was swept in the first 2 games. Hudd began play in the singles qualifying draw by winning 7-5 and 6-2. After reaching the main draw, Hudd won 6-3 and 6-4 on Wednesday before falling in round 2. In the singles main draw, Walton dropped his first round match, wrapping up the Vols' Champaign campaign. Next, the Vols will serve host to the Ida Regionals scheduled for September 23rd through 27th.
Well, that's going to wrap up things today for the Rocky Top Rundown. For my co-host Matthew King and all of our crew, I'm Hayden Flatt, and we'll see you next time.